What it is, what it is, what's good? Maximus here. Pardon me, it's a few minutes late, got a little jammed up. Had to take care of something before I got started today. Kind of jammed me up from my timing on what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So um let me see here, pardon me. Da, 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 da. All right. Let me see here. All right, as people pull up, we shall get this party started. Gonna be talking some shit. But the key is in this whole thing of talking shit, I want to make it understood that my goal is to find solutions. You know what I mean? So it's not just about, okay, we're going to go in on this one or we're going to go in on that one or whatever the case may be. No, no, no. The key thing here is to find solutions. So let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Facebook. You know how this shit go when you first getting this thing turned on. I'm just booting up a couple of things I should have had done already. But sometimes you make a plan and the plan goes about as well as it's gonna go. So you gotta roll with the punches. So that's more or less my purpose today. Is we gonna roll with the punches. We're gonna keep this thing going. It's having a couple of technical difficulties here. So I just want to make sure that everything is copacetic before I start on what I'm going to be talking about. I appreciate those that tune in. As always, like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. That is always the most important thing because it's not enough to just have this on, but it's essential that you make sure that you like, share, and subscribe because that makes life easier for the brother. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right. So something very interesting I came across. I didn't even know about it. It was apparent to me that a list was made that like broke down restaurants that are on the no-fly zone. I said no shit because I mean with me, I don't really, I don't pay attention to most of that shit. How's my sound? Because I need to see. Ah, that's what it is. Boom. Yeah, this should be better now. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Okay, so I had to make an adjustment with the sound because apparently the sound was doing something funky. I don't know what's going on today. All right, so apparently what's happened today And I mean, apparently this list just dropped today. They're talking about like all of these are restaurants that they say are no good when it comes to dating. And I was like, shit, what happened to ever, boy meets girl or boy meets boy or, whatever, whoever meets whoever. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. And with all of that being said, you meet somebody, you go out with them, and you say, you know what? I like this person. Let me continue down this journey to see what's going on with them. And I just find it crazy that that's not happening now. Now it's a matter of it determines, did you take me to the right place? Oh, is this restaurant passable? Is this not on the shit list? I'm like, how do we have a restaurant shit list? Like, where did that even start? I'm so confused. Hey, Godiva. You saw me in my car, you should have beeped, but I probably was flying anyway, so you wouldn't even see. But yeah, so I'm looking at this list. Now, I'm not going to read every one of them. Everybody talks about this whole Cheesecake Factory thing. I've made multiple videos about that. I'm not going to go crazy. Godiva, even if I'm talking on the phone, you can still say hi. I pay my own phone bill. Ain't nobody can say shit about who I speak to. But I appreciate your consideration. But I ain't seen you in 100 years, so next time, say something, because I ain't see it. Okay, so, damn. I remember back in the days, if you was going to Red Lobster, you was happy. Like, oh, shit, you getting a nice set of crab legs or whatever. I don't eat seafood, so I don't give a fuck about that. You don't take your girl on a date. Well, I get it. This is talking about first dates. So, yeah, family function on a first date, unless it's somebody that you really know, probably not a good idea. The Waffle House? I mean, I love the Waffle House. And being that I live in the North, the Waffle House is like a novelty to me. So I'd actually be happy to go to Waffle House. But I could understand what you mean. Like, it's not necessarily some way to set the atmosphere. So I'm going to be fair with this list. Sporting events, those women who sign on to say sporting events are bad first dates are dumb. Because if you've never went to a sporting event in the skybox, you don't understand. That shit is lit. That shit is a nice situation. It's very comfortable. You get to watch the game, all of that shit. Exactly. Every time I go down south, I want Waffle House too. But to say that you are not going to go to a sporting event, chill in the fucking skybox and fucking enjoy drinks and food, that shit is luxurious. That's better than most of these restaurants. Y'all crazy. Y'all bugging. Y'all sound stupid. Anyway, you don't want to go to a hookah bar or a nightclub. So you don't want to go anywhere because they say you don't want to go to the bar for drinks. Why not? You might have went to a restaurant already. We had our food. Now we going to the bar. We gonna have some drinks, or we might be on some shit where we're like, we ain't hungry yet. Let's have some drinks, work up an appetite, then we'll eat after. Like, I see that this list was made by people who like to fail at dating. No movie nights like Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Again, okay, who's to say I want you in my crib on the first date? That's not something you do for everybody, but everybody's done it. So I don't know. And as expensive as apartments are these days, I would actually be happy if somebody invites me into their expensive ass apartment and says, yo, I'm gonna cook you a home cooked meal, I'd be grateful for that shit. That takes a lot more effort and thought than just bringing me to a restaurant and pointing, throwing a menu in my face. Um, I mean, who's going to Chipotle, y'all? We could just put that in the fast foods. Fast foods are no fly. I could agree with that. A buffet is a mixed bag because anybody that's been to a high end, there's some high end restaurants that have nice buffets. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You go find them yourself. Depends on where you live. Again, the family functions thing, no. Church, that depends on who you are. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your faith. Like, that's dumb. And I mean, coffee dates. Let me tell you something. One of the dopest dates I ever went on started off as a coffee date. Like, we literally was like, yo, we're going to meet at Starbucks. And I love Starbucks, but I mean, that's not really my thing. But she really insisted, like, she really just wanted to have a face to face real quick. And she was like, I know you're busy, but da 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 da. And I went on the date. I agreed to it. And from there, we just ended up making moves. It's like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go over here. We ended up going, doing some activities, blah, 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 blah. And it was a nice situation. So I fail to see what the problem is with that. Let me see. What else is on here? Because this shit is you don't want to take somebody to the movies. I agree, movies are not good first dates. Because anything where you cannot talk and interact is not a good first date. Truthfully, the meal's not even that important because the meal is just, you're out, you take a lady out, you ask her out, make sure you feed her. You get her something nice to eat, enjoy a nice meal, nice ambiance, have a great conversation, blah, blah, blah. But that shouldn't even be the main event of your date. The main event of your date should be what you're actually going to do. And you know how you figure stuff like that out? By having conversation, by talking to one another, getting to know one another. You pick up the phone. Let's pretend that this shit, I use a lot of mouthwash. Let's pretend this shit is a motherfucking phone. You fucking use the phone. Stop texting. All that texting shit is why people end up with these raggedy ass first dates. Or they say somewhere that requires a long drive. That's stupid because everything you want to do is not going to be around the fucking corner. Like, I can see why this dating pool is so garbage. It is sad because people are worried about the wrong motherfucking things. It's like, why are you focused on this? What is even the problem? Why do you find this to be an issue? I need to find out why Facebook keeps blanking out my goddamn stream too. Because when I look on my YouTube, that shit is playing smooth. But on Facebook, I already seen that the shit is blanking the fuck out. And that's annoying. Because that's throwing my shit off. Anyway. One of my favorite things about when I'm streaming, and this is funny, is seeing people that are friends with me sending me messages. Because the reason why I say that is, I'm like, if you're my friend and you're paying attention, you would know that I'm streaming right now, so you wouldn't be sending me no fucking messages. You would be like, oh shit, he's streaming. This ain't the time to send him a fucking message. He's not going to respond to this shit. Why? Because he's on his motherfucking live stream. But, this is one of those things where it's just like, let me tell you something. There's a major problem in this dating world.
The reason why I'm talking about the problems with this, I know a lot of people get on this, they roll their eyes, oh, I'm so tired of this. Is it the men versus the women? Nope. This ain't even that kind of stream. Now, that list was made by women. And I'm going to cook y'all for that. Because let me tell y'all something. If you want to guarantee that you fail in dating, go buy this list. And I guarantee you failure or your money back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no debate on this. If you decide that you're going to go up on here and look at this list, and if whatever they're doing does not fall on this list, you look and say, oh my God, I have to check the list. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up finding yourself by yourself. And it's okay. It's okay. Because I ain't mad at you. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I'm doing great with my consultations. So at the end of the day, y'all end up coming to see me or somebody like me when you went through so much damage, you don't even know what the fuck to do with yourself anymore. Not realizing that it's not necessarily them that's the problem. It's you. So you have to understand when you keep going through the same shit over and over again, there's one common denominator in that. And this doesn't have to be a man problem or a woman problem. It's everybody problem. If you are constantly finding yourself going through the same things over and over again, that is a you problem. That is something that you did that made you now not be able to acquire the kind of person you want because you had such a stringent list, such a petty list of bullshit that you had to pick at in order to find somebody that was actually going to fuck with you. It was so many that you literally crashed and burned any opportunity you had at a solid relationship. I even had somebody try to refute me on this. I said earlier in the short video I did, a reel I put up on Facebook. Well, I put it up on everything, but whatever. Anyway, on this reel, I said, yo, so let me get this straight. If y'all don't want no chain restaurants, you don't want Roof Chris either. Roof Chris is a chain restaurant. I know it says fast food chain, but guess what? Most of these restaurants is making that food fast as fuck because it's already pre-prepared. All a fast food restaurant is a place where the food is already pre-prepared so that when you order whatever you order, yes, they can customize certain things about it. They'll go to an extra extent in a place like Roof Chris, but technically it's still fast food because preparing a steak is not happening as fast as it does in those restaurants. So I'm gonna need y'all to shut up. Now we get it. Don't take your date to McDonald's. Don't take your date to White Castle, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day though, I think the problem is, even though I don't disagree with you on a lot of this, I think the problem is people are too busy emphasizing the wrong things when it comes to who they're dating. They're not picking, it's like they want a certain level of quality, but the things that they're using to eliminate themselves or to eliminate potential partners from the selection are things that are ultimately going to lead them to having a shit list of people to pick from because they're moving all of their quality away. You don't want to move all of your quality away, but that's what you're doing when you keep running everybody off. When you keep saying, up, you tied your shoe with your left hand, stay your right, up, you're no good. Up, nope, you took me to here, but I got a whole sexy situation for you and all of that. Why don't you just let me play out the whole date before you eliminate me? Nah. And my whole thing is is that you can't do stupid shit like that. I'm gonna do this right now, Dana. Hold on. Because this shit is like unbelievable. Like the fact that people really believe that it's okay to do shit like that just blows my mind. And I don't understand. It's like, you say that you want to have a certain level of people fucking with you, but you're eliminating all of those possibilities because before you get a chance to have those possibilities, you done ran everybody off. And to me, that's crazy. I'm going to post this right here. Hold, please. Do, 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 do. Yeah, and at the end of the day, okay, boom. All right. So anyway, um, my thing is that multiple people step on their own feet each and every single time, and to me, I just don't understand how you ever expect to have a solid date. Some people I see them constantly on a rotation. I call them the dating rotation. They're in love, then they're out of love, then they're back in love. Oh, Dana's gonna join me. This is gonna be fun. All right, here we go. Boom.
Hey,
There you go. Hey, Dana, what's up?
what are we talking about now? I know we're talking about dating and this list. What is going on with this list?
Listen, this list is disgusting. Oh, mute yourself on my on whatever you're listening to me on, because I can hear echo of you of myself.
Hold on one second.
Let me see. Yeah, because this list is depressing. Like, I literally am at a loss when I like really sat and like read this list of requirements that these women came up with when it comes to dating and all of that. Like I still kind of like I just basically most of them just said, "Don't date me." That's all I heard. Anybody that co-signs this list, I mean, you know, this list to me is like mind blowing. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
I'm
I can't
looking
hear
at
you.
this.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Try now.
Hello? You hear me?
Hell, I did something.
Yeah, you did something. You muted yourself
Let me
because I'm sure everybody can hear me. Now you muted yourself.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but not so loud. I did have my earbuds in, but okay.
You got to change your settings in the studio so that it goes to your Bluetooth instead of your default.
Okay. Okay.
That's the key to making that work. But I'm
All right,
gonna
there we go.
touch up, and she's out of there. I'm sure she'll be back in a minute. But yeah, this list Let's see here. Boom. Bow. All
All right.
right. Here we go. Now, this list is quite disgusting, though. I
I
mean,
agree.
I mean, listen. There's a couple of meals in Applebee's I fucks with, so I ain't got no problem with some Applebee's. I'm not going to take a woman here for first date because, quiet as kept, I'm actually quite bougie. I have expensive taste, so I tend to pick places that I probably shouldn't sometimes. But my thing is this shouldn't be a requirement.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This should be something that you do because that's what you want to do.
Right. I mean, you know, there's a lot of picky people out there and looking for status versus how you're being treated. I mean,
100%.
most men won't even take you beyond four walls.
And hello, most of the time, especially, in our community, in the
Yes.
lifestyle community, people don't be dating like that.
Right.
You know what's crazy to me, too? I will tell you this. And I will tell you this because this is just something that I laugh at all the time. I tried to date in that community on so many occasions. Like, I would actually hit women up. And I mean, you've met me in person before, Dana, so you see me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the worst. I'm not the worst looking guy in the world. I'm not a bad catch. Like, I work.
Right.
I got my own place. I got my own car. You know what I'm saying? Decent job. Like, shit, I got 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I have the nerve to have this podcast and other shit on top of that. I'm crazy, and I'm still adding other shit to my. You understand what I'm saying? Like, my ambition and everything is off the chart. So to see that I have a hard time in a community where women claim that they all want to be taken seriously, they don't want to just be hit up.
Hmm.
It makes me scratch my head.
Well, I mean, it's the same for majority of us. I think the problem is that a lot of I would say that 80% of all singles, male and female, are emotionally damaged. And well, we don't. It's you're going to run into them. It's impossible not to run into them. If you meet 10 women, eight of
Hmm.
them are going to be emotionally. But
Uh oh,
is we
your
want
sound is
to
chopping.
date to and but to 9 and 10
Hold on, Dana. You hear me,
makes sense.
Dana?
We don't really we don't pick flags, we don't pick up clues, and then stick with these, the that we run into, and we never the nine
Dana,
and the 10.
Dana, you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh shit.
Dana?
Hold on.
Yes, change your settings. Yeah, but like she said, what she said is a lot of people have emotional damage. A lot of people haven't done what they need to do in order to heal so that they can come out into the dating community and properly function. A lot of people don't function properly in a dating community because they don't do the work. This all comes back down to mental health. That is one of the keys because, like I said, I could sit up here and complain about what doesn't happen, what shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever, all night long, and I'm sure y'all don't want to hear that shit, and I don't want to keep talking about that shit. But the reason why I keep having these topics is because I have enough clientele to tell you that this shit is a recurring problem. Whether you are vanilla, lifestyle, gay, straight, whatever the fuck it is you are. Dana, you hear me? I can't hear you. So continue to
There you
work
go.
on
Can
this.
you
I
hear me
see
now?
them. Ah, Okay, Jonathan asked a good question. He said, define healing. We talk a lot about healing, but we rarely tell people what healing looks like. And this is
Now I
true.
can tell you. I can tell you what healing looks like.
Go ahead.
First of all, healing starts with every healing has everything to do with you. Healing
Hmm.
has everything with getting to know who you are, how you react to stuff, how you perceive things, how you regulate your own emotions. Healing looks like putting a plan in action to be more aware of yourself.
Right.
Because I can tell you in the vanilla world, I would say all the way up until 3 years ago, I was severely insecure, severely
Hmm.
insecure, and it affected every single relationship that I've ever been in. Every single relationship it affected, and we like to say, okay, the problem, the common denominator is you, but that's not answering the question, right? That's not answering the question that everybody wants to know. Okay, you say the common denominator is me. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you is there's nothing wrong with you in the first place. There's nothing wrong with none
Yes,
of
the
us.
fuck
We don't,
there is
but
sometimes.
but it's not that we need to be fixed. It's just that we need to be more self-aware of what we're actually doing and how we
Hmm.
think and how we act and react. Because once you start being self-aware, okay, I do have this issue of abandonment issues, or I got, this is why I'm so insecure in my relationships. This is why I'm doing this or this and the third, or why you're so desperate to find love or a man, and that you're willing to do all these crazy stuff and they're not giving you anything back. You have
Hmm.
to, and then we like to call the people that we were with crazy, but if that's who you attracted,
That's a fact.
that's not only who you attracted, that's who you're attracted to. So if you want to find answers and start healing, look at the people that you are attracted to,
Yeah.
and look at and ask them, okay, why am I attracted to that? Why am I attracted to a man that only wants to have sex with me in the bedroom, doesn't want to take me out on dates, doesn't want to get to know me, doesn't even know my last name. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Why is this okay for you?
Right.
Why is that okay? What we need to start doing is saying that's not acceptable. That's not what I'm aligned with. That's not what I want. But a lot of people don't even know what they want to start with.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I hear women say this all the time, and I'm going to go back to the whole lifestyle thing because being at such a niche community, we can bring it down to a smaller perspective instead of
Yeah.
talking about the whole broad thing because we know what the broad situation is. But just
Right.
to nail it down some, I want to touch more on this healing thing too.
Yeah.
Another thing that defines what healing looks like is you have to understand that you have to do what's called a self check. You have to evaluate yourself at times, check yourself. You have to think about, okay, I am frustrated with this, whatever the thing may be. I'm frustrated with that. What is it about that thing that frustrates me? Why does that thing frustrate me? And once you do all of that and you figure that out, then you have to think to yourself, and this is before you go get counseling. You have to figure to yourself, okay, what is it that I feel I should fix? Because something is not right. Because if you look at the stats, like I talk about myself, I go to counseling. I have counseling. I'm not just the president, I'm also a client. I counsel and I get counseling because I look and I say, okay, I have this, and this going for me. Why is this shit still so hard? And then the answer to that typically is I need to figure certain things out within myself so that I can be ready for who it is that I want to receive, who I am meant and who is meant to actually fit into my universe once I have my healing. But you have to understand that you have to check yourself first. Because if you don't check yourself, you won't even know where to start when you sit in front of counseling. Because yes, they will
Yeah.
evaluate you. Yeah, they will ask you certain key things to try to get at what it is that is the problem. But at the end of the day, you have to have some idea of it yourself too. It's like when you take a car to the mechanic, you can't just tell them, "Oh, my car's not working." Okay, it's going to take them 550, 11 years to figure out what the actual problem is. But if you say, "Hey, I've been seeing some smoke coming from this area of my engine, such and such and such," now instead of looking at all these components, because your psyche is like 1,000 components, you have to try to narrow it down on your own first to at least a generalized area and be honest with yourself. Stop lying and thinking that you are perfect. None of us are. We all have issues.
I
And you
think
have to recognize that first.
a lot of people do not recognize anything. A lot of people aren't even aware that they have a problem. I think if you're having issues and they know they having issues in relationships, I can't get a man, I can't get a woman, this dating thing's not working for me, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we know that part, but a lot of people don't know, oh, I'm the problem, or something that is going on with me needs to be healed.
Right.
I would definitely recommend, just in general, sitting down with someone you trust, someone that
Hmm.
you feel like loves you and will tell you the truth, and ask
Hmm.
them questions about yourself. Like,
Right.
how do you perceive me in our relationship? It could be your best friend. I do this,
Hmm.
with your best friend. Sit down with your best friend and say, "Hey, listen, what do I do that annoys the hell out of you?
Right.
What?" Because there's a lot of times, if you're open to listening to somebody and trusting what they're telling you is going to be the truth about yourself, then you can start, okay, let me start being aware of that. Like, I didn't know.
Hmm.
I have good friends who will tell me things like, you know, oh, you do this or you do that, and I'd be like, well, damn, I didn't know.
Right.
Thank you for telling me. So now I'm gonna be more aware of that.
Hmm. Well, it's kind of like that whole. Uh oh, we lost you again with the sound.
You did? I can hear
There,
you.
I
I
hear
can
you
hear you.
now.
Oh,
I hear you
I
now.
I'm at
You
work, so
might
I
want
have
to.
really
You might
bad
want to.
reception.
You might want to be careful with your background things too. Like if you got too many things running in the background, it's going to make it harder for the thing to run.
Let me see.
Yeah, see, because
I
you have
don't.
a lot of you look like one of those, what you call it, one of those kung fu's from back in the day on Channel 5, where you talking but we don't hear nothing, but we see your mouth moving, then we might hear some sound afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
See, and Key, I want to say this. Keywood said something good here, and she was like, developing raw self awareness is key, which is very true.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
have to be aware of what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware of what it is that you have going on within yourself. Because it all starts from here. You can blame every man, woman, dog, cat, whatever in the world. Because this doesn't have a sex. This isn't about, oh, the women are the problem or the men are the problem. No.
I tell
The
you what,
problem is
if you take everybody else out of the scenario where
mhm,
you do not blame anybody, not your daddy, not your teacher, take everybody in the scenario and pointing the
uh-oh.
finger at yourself, you can answer some questions. If I take my exit to really look at the situation,
Dana, you hear me?
like, okay, hey, did I fall for it? Why did I relationship after I knew I was cheating? You got to
You
start
hear me,
asking
Dana?
yourself questions and looking into everything you with, whether you deem it bad, everything you're, can you hear me?
That's what I was trying to tell you. When you see me doing
I
this,
with this mic.
that means your sound is fucking up. What I'm trying to tell you is you gotta try to see if you can steal your job's Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Let me see
I'm in a
something
bad
here.
area.
Trudy is saying some interesting stuff here. She accepted the fact that she's not perfect. You understand what I'm saying? Which is good because that's very important. You got to realize we all got things that we can work on. And she tried to do things differently without compromising herself, but she felt like it didn't work. The thing is, you have to understand is that it's always a compromise whenever you're dealing with another person because each of us are parts of a whole. It might be a man and a woman. I'm going to use a man and woman as an example. I know there's other kind of relationships, but I'm going to focus on the one I know. So, in a man and woman situation, you're going to complete each other in certain ways. You're going to have things that are missing. You have to make compromises sometimes to make it make sense, but you should never compromise your base principles or your core personality. Like, if you are a person who is vanilla, don't come into the lifestyle just because you love this guy or you love this girl and you want to make it work with them. Same thing if your lifestyle and you want to get with somebody that's vanilla, don't do that. Don't sacrifice that if that's what you are into, just because those are called core principles. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that you couldn't change because people do change, where you might decide you don't need this or that. So there's nothing wrong with compromising. And you have to also realize that you're going to try a million things and none of them are going to work because everybody sees your success, but nobody sees your thousands of failures that it took you to get that one success. Like a motherfucker that's playing basketball, think about somebody like Steph Curry, who's considered one of the best three-point shooters of all time. This motherfucker only makes about 38 to 43% of his shots. That other 50-something percent of his shots, he not hitting them motherfuckers. But he's still considered great because he's hit so many at such important times. It's still a win. You have to have that same mentality where you have to look at the quality of the shots that you're hitting. You can't just look at it and say, oh, because I've lost over and over again, that I'm not a winner. You're still a winner. You just have to. The difference between those that are successful in life and those that are not successful is not, oh, well, this person just got lucky and this person didn't. No. It's the people that no matter how many times they got knocked down, they kept getting back up. It's called having that perseverance, that determination. You have to be driven to go beyond what the regular person will go to if you want to have great success. If you want a great relationship, you have to be willing to go above and beyond what the normal is in order to achieve that. If all you're going to say is, oh, I'll just answer a message every 2 days, oh, I'll such and such and such. Let me tell you something. Dana, are you there?
I'm here.
I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to throw this to you. Let me just say this one thing. I just want to make sure you can hear me and you can talk. I am a very busy man. Men that are successful are very busy. I'm already a successful person. I'm still nowhere near happy with where I am. Let me tell you something. Anybody that is worth having, worth anything, none of them have time to sit back and wait for your sometimey communication. This goes for ladies too. There's a lot of successful ladies out here. If you want them, you got to be persistent. Same thing for you ladies. If you see a man you want, you got to be persistent. You got to push up. And once you got that communication, you got to keep rolling that shit back and forth. I put up something the other day and nobody said shit on it, but it's one of the major keys to a relationship. And that's the infinity symbol. Because that energy circling like this over and over again is the key to keeping a relationship successful. You have to keep reciprocating that energy back and forth. And if you think somebody's going to sit around and wait for your sometimey oh, well, I'll get back to them when I feel like it because I got 50 different dudes or 50 different girls getting at me, you're going to play yourself. Because, yeah, and I'm going to say this for the ladies. Ladies, you might have 50 different dudes in your inbox hollering at you, but very few of them are actually going to be A, somebody worth keeping, B, somebody that actually wants to do something or build something with you, because most of them just want to fuck. Most of them don't care about doing nothing beyond fucking. So while you are hoping that this fuck is going to turn into something else, no, he'll take you to dinner, take you to the nicest restaurant, do all that shit just to clap your cheeks. And once he's clapping your cheeks, you're going to see them restaurants is going to fade away until you start complaining. Then he'll feed you another nice whatever to keep you happy so he can keep busting that ass. Meanwhile, the guy who would have courted you and did all of that special stuff that would have actually been quality and substance to your life, you slid on him because he didn't have the patience to sit there while you played, oh, well, I don't know which one I'm going to respond to. I don't know which one I'm not going to respond to. Like, that's crazy. Dana?
Yes. As far as communicating goes back and forth, and I think a lot of us are busy. Now, I know I'm a busy person, and I know that I don't necessarily like chit chat. So I believe that the biggest problem in the lifestyle right now is that everybody's long distance.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's long distance, and you could be chatting upwards 3 to 6 months before you even meet up with somebody.
Right.
What I would love for people to start doing is actually committing to something. I mean, like, set a date. Hey, I want to spend time with you. Let's meet
Right.
up on this date. Let's
Okay.
make this happen. And
Mhm.
it doesn't. It's a continuous. I'm gonna tell you the good mornings, the hey, how you doing? Those get boring. They get boring. And if you're busy and you're trying to build something on your own, and you're trying to be a successful person, those little chit chats don't cut it out. Not for alpha
So
females, alpha males. The little chit chatting, make a plan.
so
But
you're
Marie,
saying, so fellas, basically this is like, listen, cut the motherfucking small talk, bro. Let's line up and get something cracking. Yo, I've literally done shit like that where I was like, hey, what's up? Think you dope. Let's link up. We could set up something. But I will tell you something, and this is something I've said. I've actually said this on the BLX experience. Those people is cool over there. One thing that's key is you have to talk to me a little bit before I'm going to take you any the fuck where. Before I'm going to make a plan. I don't care about spending money. I spend money on some of the stupidest shit. I don't care about spending money on something. But my thing is show me that you are worth my time. Because for me, my time is my greatest resource. That time that I'm spending with you, I could have my son sitting here with me overnight playing fucking PlayStation, but instead I'm out on this date with you. Or if I gotta fly out of town to kick it with you, as busy as I am, like I said, I got 3 fucking jobs. I ain't got time to be, oh, I'm just gonna fly out to see somebody. I don't know shit about them. I don't know nothing. And I'm not trying to figure it out when I get there. I need to evaluate them to see if I want to be in their energy.
and seeing this is the problem. This is the problem. This is one reason, and this is my personal preference. This is one reason why I don't like to date anybody I never met. Because I don't have time to get to know you via text or via
Mm-hmm.
Facebook inboxing. I mean, you do want to know somebody. So if I met you in person and I feel like I had your vibe, we have a vibe together. Let's make something
Mm-hmm.
happen, and
But
then
that's
let's go
different.
from there.
Well, that's a little different because, like you said, everybody in lifestyle is long distance. My thing is, as far as the lifestyle goes, if you're going to meet somebody just because this is a lifestyle community where you got plenty of swingles and singles and all this other type of things going on and couples and don't know what the fuck they are and whatever. The thing is that we're still everybody is still people. A girl
Mhm.
still wants to go out on a date, get cute, put on a nice little outfit, and do something dope, you ain't gotta just be like, hey, when can I come through and bust your ass? It's different if that's your arrangement, because those arrangements happen. Sometimes you just say, hey, I want to set up a play date, da da da. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. We grown. You do what you do.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, there's nothing wrong with getting up and saying, hey, let's link up. You know what? Boom. You live in the Midwest. I live in New York. I'm going to fly to you right now. I'm going to fly to you. We going to go to a restaurant, blah, 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 do whatever the fuck we going to do. Have a good time there. And then next time you come fly my way and we could figure that out. Now, me personally, I keep it a stack. This is my personal opinion. Typically, I'm not a big fan of long distance relationships.
I'm not either.
I will say this. I'm starting to feel like I might change my mind on that a little bit, though.
That takes a lot of work.
No, because here's the thing. I typically don't see people every week anyway.
Mhm.
I'm busy. I have a child. My weekends is the only time I can do anything with him. Because during the school year, I don't get to take him as much. And then with my work schedule, it's a little tricky.
Mhm.
For the dads like us, people in my age group that have children that are teenage to older, you want to spend time with your child too. You have to sort all of this shit out. So every week ain't gonna be a week to turn up because everybody ain't gonna be like, hey, I can see you on a Tuesday. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So if everybody's relying on the weekend, you're not gonna see them that much.
Right. And that's where you're not that person is not in alignment with what you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, the
It
thing
takes more.
is,
It's more than attraction. It's more than good looks. It's more than
Mhm.
I want to get to know you. It's do our lifestyles align up with each other? Because why am I going to spend my time and my effort getting to know someone I'm never going to be able to see?
mm, here's the thing. I will tell you this just because I'm very happy. A couple of mines that I've worked with actually getting married in March, I think. They're going to St. Lucia because that's where she's from. She wants to get married in front of her family and all of that stuff. So it's a real dope situation. Um, they lived pretty far apart. He lived, and let's say lived because obviously they moved in together eventually. But he lived, what was it, in Delaware, and
Hmm.
she lived in Texas.
Mm.
I don't remember the city, so I hope nobody's gonna ask me that shit. But the whole thing is, they had to make it work, and I mean, these were people with regular jobs. We're not talking about the 100 grand plus earners, because yes, they can afford to fly over there. But as much as I know everybody wants to act like they got money, a lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't making that much or higher, and it's okay because it's called the 10% for a reason.
Hmm.
For average earning people, it is not an easy thing to do. One
Right.
thing I will say is they figured it out. They worked together. They would split the cost of flights. They would find things to do. They would stack up the paper. They made that shit work.
And that's how
It's
you
not
have to
a,
do it.
no, but the thing is, what I say that to say, it's not impossible. And trust me, it was not easy. There was a lot of cheating things that happened, whatever, before they decided to learn transparency and how to keep things open. I helped walk them through a lot of that. And in doing so, now they're fucking dope. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're one of those couples you see on TV that's really cute, that do a lot of goofy shit together, and they're both kind of nerdy and it's kind of cute. But, my whole thing is at the end of the day, you can accomplish anything you want to do. Your love might not live in Indiana or wherever the hell it is that you're at, Dana. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Your love might live in motherfucking Georgia somewhere.
Yeah. But it does take two. It takes
No,
two.
it takes two,
It takes
but you
two,
can't come
and they have
into
to
it
want to commit
and
to that.
No, but this is me showing my growth. I'm proud of myself. I'm showing growth right here on the podcast. There is no way you can succeed at anything if you come into it saying that it can't work.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, "Oh, long distance relationships don't work. It's not going to work. I know it's
Oh,
going to
now,
fail."
I know they work. I do know some lifestyle couples who made it work. My thing
And
is,
the
my
key
thing
is
is
don't move to New
knowing.
York.
What'd you say?
I said the key is don't move to New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever y'all come together, if one of them lives in New York, that's the one that got to move.
Wow.
Yo, just saying, I'm keeping it a stack, man. It sucks.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's just if you are doing long distance, then there has to be some movement involved, some planning, some hey, this is how we're going to make it work. And a lot of
Hmm.
times we go to a party somewhere
Ooh,
way out, we meet people, and then it's a little bit of texting back and forth. You might call each other, but it's never. I mean, if there's no plan and action, like hey, if we get serious, how do we plan on making this work?
Trudy, I'm gonna get to you in 1 second because she's saying some shit. We got to touch this. Hold on. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah. So if there's no plan of action of, hey, what's going on in the future, or how do we make this work, then it's eventually just going to die down. So there does have to be some type of plan. I'm interested in you enough to make this work. What are we going to do?
Hmm. Okay, so and in that being said, I'm just gonna swing back before we're gonna get back to this long distance thing in 1 second. This girl says to me, well, not to me, but she says this. I had to put this up here because it's a lot. She said basically she typically doesn't date a man with a car. She gave a man with a car a chance. I find that to be ironic because Trudy does not drive. But where she lives, because I know Trudy personally, where she lives, you ain't really getting to her without a car. I don't know how she functions up there without a car, but she does. And my whole thing is, oh shit, maybe she does drive. I've never seen you drive, so I don't know. But my whole thing is, um, she never dates a guy without a car. And like I said, I get it. She's all the way up in the Bronx, like north, damn near Mount Vernon. Like that shit is up there. I don't even think the train reaches up there. Like you gotta take the Metro North to get to that bitch. It's some shit that ain't easy to get to at all. And my whole thing is that um she said that she's like she found herself trying to give a guy without a car a chance, compromising. And she found herself paying for Ubers.
Oh no.
She
Oh
said there
no.
won't be a second date. She was waiting for him to tell her that he was going to reimburse her, but he didn't.
No. See,
Can I just say something for the grown men in the room? And then I'm gonna let you dump on this because this is where the woman has to speak. I'm not even going. I'm gonna let you fire on this. We gotta say for the grown men in the room, why you don't have an Uber account? What kind of underground shit you doing that you don't even have a goddamn bank account you can connect to your Uber so that you can take an Uber on your own dime? Why is Trudy paying for your Uber? Come on, fellas, we gotta do better than this, man. This is the kind of goofy ass shit we do
yeah.
that I look and I say, ladies, I feel your pain. I'm sorry. As a man, I'm sorry that you ladies go through this cheap nigga shit right here. Go ahead, Dana. I need a drink. Drink my
I,
water.
I think sometimes that some women we get to the point where we're like, oh, well, we don't want to pass up a good man just because he doesn't have a car, or and not having a car, that's fine, but paying for his Uber to get to you, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
I
If he
will.
don't have a car, but he can pay for his Uber to get to you, fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you have to start coming out of your own pocket to bring a man to you, That that's where that's where you need to start thinking to yourself, okay, is this my child or is this somebody I'm dating?
I'm gonna say something slick right now, so hang on. And Trudy, how many guys in your inbox did you diss that probably had cars and didn't have to pay for their Ubers? Did you diss to link up with this guy whose Uber you ended up paying for? Because that's one of those things I talk about again, where I say, I get it. Listen, it don't matter where you pay for the Uber back and forth from. That should have never have happened. He
Yeah.
should be able to get there on his own dime. The way it works is, the way it works is, if you're taking a woman out, you pay for it. Whatever the expenses that come up, you pay for. Now, if she offers to pay for something, that's fine. You know, I'm not against that, whatever. But my whole thing is, if he want to take you out somewhere, he should be paying for the transport. You meet up at her house. You make the Uber a multi-stop Uber. We all know how the fucking app works. That means, Trudy, you can't take 450 years. You gotta be ready.
Mhm.
So she knows why I'm saying that. So what you do is next is then you make that next stop is whatever restaurant you go to. Let's say we go into Tom's Italian bistro, whatever the fuck. You go there and you have your date. Then you do the same thing on the way back. A double stop.
Yeah. I think the we're missing these days that feminine masculine energy that um, we say we want a man who's going to be a leader. We want a man who's going to take charge. We want a man that's going to be a man's man, a man who's going to fulfill that role. But however, we don't allow them to do that. We
Mm-mm.
step in, pay for Ubers. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We call them and ask them, "Hey, you want to come over? I'm cooking." I'm cooking, I'm gonna be in lingerie or whatever it is, instead of giving the man a chance to come after us. And I know there's a lot of men out there to say, I'm not gonna chase blah blah.
Well,
And it depends. For me,
well, that was different.
personally, I know what kind of man I want. I
Uh
know I
huh.
want a leader. I know I want the old fashioned man. I know exactly what I want. And I know how not to get that. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
know that if I start pushing masculine energy towards these men, they're never going to be the men that I wanted in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have a problem with if they try to say, "Well, I don't chase no women. I'm not about to chase you." Don't. Please don't. Bye. Don't, because you're not in alignment with what I want.
And
You got to go.
apparently he was supposed to send her the money back for the Uber or Cash App, but he ain't do that.
No.
And of
I was
course
saying
he
I
was.
ain't got none. I ain't got no money. Sorry, we can't meet up. Because if you
Listen,
got a friend, a mama, a cousin, somebody that can loan you 25, $30.
hey fellas, if you have a driver's license, go on Toro, rent a car for the evening. You'll actually find it to be a lot cheaper than jumping in an Uber to Uber to Uber, place to place to place.
Hmm.
This is a little pro tip, ladies. Share this information with the ones that have licenses but don't drive,
Yeah.
because me, I've had a car since I was like 17 years old. I've always had a car. Maybe for like 5 minutes, I didn't have a car in my life, but most of the time I've driven. So I'm fortunate. But my whole thing is, if you, the amount of money you're going to spend on Ubers, you might as well just rent you a whip for the evening, take the lady out on a date. When the date is over, the next day, drop the car off, game's over, you go back to whatever. Whenever
Mhm.
you have dates, rent a car. Yes, it's an extra expense. That's why I said go through Toro. Fuck these regular rental places or whatever. You can get a real basic car on Toro for a nice price. They
Mhm.
have it in New York, and I know the other states it's very easy to do. Very popular outside New York. New York's stupid laws make shit harder, but it's in New York too now. But even outside of New York, all you got to do is do that, and you should be good.
I just
Now,
stuck out of here.
you out of here?
I gotta go.
All right. You got anything to say before you bounce?
No, it was nice chatting with you, and then I'll be back.
Hey, all right. We'll see you. Next time we'll plan it.
Right. All
All
right.
right. Cool.
Bye.
All right. And like I said, fellas, and I'm putting a lot of this on the guys because I see that there's a major problem when it comes to this dating atmosphere. The men are failing big time. You know, that's dope, Trudy, that you offer to pay for tips or the valet, whatever. That's dope because a lot of women don't even do that. And I'm not saying the women should. I personally don't. I ain't gonna tell somebody what to do with their money because at the end of the day, it's your money. You do whatever the fuck you feel like you want to do with it. If I ask you out, I'm not expecting you to go in your pocket. I've already made sure that the money in my pocket could cover the things that I planned on doing. I'm not going to go outside if it's looking shaky. I'm going to give some of you fellas another pro tip. Since I'm giving out pro tips today, I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe this, ladies, because these guys need to hear this that y'all going out with because I know they're not watching. Another key tip is they need to understand, apply for things like ZipPay and Klarna and Affirm because there are a lot of things you can do with that. If you happen not to have all the money and you want to do something a little bigger than your normal because you want to do something special or whatever, that will allow you to break that up into increment payments. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of doing that shit, but it's an option because you can now break it into 4 payments instead of just doing it all at once. And that will make your life a lot easier. This way, if you see yourself going to a restaurant, damn, I only got $300. I know this bill, which is very easy, especially in a city like New York. The bill could easily go up to like $150, $200 if you sipping some drinks and shit. You know, so set up, they pull out that ZipPay card and pay for that shit with that. Ain't no shame in your game. This way, you only paying maybe what, $50 up front, and you had a nice $200 meal. She got to order whatever she wanted, and you still looking like a boss. It's a win. I've never done that on a date, but I just haven't had to. But I'm just saying there are options, especially if you're one of these guys who doesn't have a vehicle. So now you got to spend extra money on transportation. That's a pain in the ass. You're looking like, damn, just to go out with this girl, I'm guaranteed to spend like $350 to $400. And that's a good amount of money for a date. Like, that's a lot. A date really shouldn't cost any more than anywhere like really $250 for everything. If this is a basic first date, if you're spending more than $250 on a basic first date, you're spending too much. That's my personal opinion. Now, granted, I'm a hypocrite because I've spent a lot more than that, but I also can afford more than that. An average working person spend about $200, $250. That really should end your dating expenditures. And you could actually spend even less than that in most states. I'm going by New York numbers. Because I went out on dates in Connecticut, and I'll tell you, when I saw the bill, I laughed at it. I was like, what is this, the tip? Oh, that's the bill. Oh, shit. Here, paid over. You know, and you know, like, and that's impressive, Trudy. Wherever you went, that the dinner bill was $50. You gotta put me on. I'm probably not gonna fuck with it, but you know, my whole thing is that you have to get creative sometimes. It is okay to not be earning a lot of money, but still wanting to date. So these girls are running around, oh, well, if you ain't got it like that, you shouldn't date. Most of y'all motherfuckers ain't got it like that. So stop lying. It's okay. You should still date. Everybody deserves to be able to go out on a date and find love. That should not have a financial cap to it. The ones that say that are stupid. Don't listen to them. If your heart cries out to want to be loved by somebody, whether you are lifestyle, vanilla, whatever, you have every single solitary right to go out there and go get it. Just understand that in your need or want to go get this thing, that you're willing to do what it takes to be successful at it. Because a lot of times nobody wants to take those steps. People don't want to use their brain. That's why I need you ladies to like and share this shit. Because y'all need to let these guys see it. They pay attention to what y'all pay attention to. Because the stuff I'm saying right now, honestly, I ain't got a lot to say about the ladies on this. This is the guys. This is the guys 150%. Somebody want to say I'm capping? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. You know, and people that know me know I don't give a fuck what people say or think. I don't say things that make somebody smile or whatever. If it's on the guys, and this dating shit, fellas, if these women are giving you the opportunity to date them, don't stiff them on things that you promised to pay them. If you said, hey, I'm going to cover such and such and such, don't worry about it. Now, it's different if you're in a relationship because at that point, you're not nickeling and diming each other. Oh, you don't have this? Don't worry, I got it. You know I got you on the next one. Boo, bah. It should be automatic. But first dates, you need to come out prepared, bro. Why y'all coming out here? You know, you don't go to a basketball court with no ball. You don't drive your car without your car keys. I would say you don't take a shower without soap, but the way some motherfuckers be smelling, I'd be suspecting some of them don't. So we're going to skip that one. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you have to be realistic with yourself. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything like if you know that you are not a Michelin star restaurant budget having person, don't take her to a Michelin star level restaurant. Take her to a simple restaurant, nice place, budget around $125 for the bill with a couple of drinks included. Because most women don't drink like that when they're on a date, especially not the first date. They're gonna have like maybe a taste or two, maybe a couple of drinks and some food. Come out to about 125, 150, say 165 to 170 with tip. And you're golden. That's your meal. Whatever else you're gonna do, again, like I said, use your brain. You want to do something dope for an activity, prepay for this shit. Use Groupon. Like, there's no shame in this shit. Do whatever it takes to make sure that you cover that date. You don't even have to get crazy with it. These stupid chicks that came up with this list, ignore every single chick that co-signs that list. The moment you see a girl co-sign that list, consider that the ultimate red flag and cut them off. That's all you got to do. Because somebody that really is going to appreciate you is not going to tell you some stupid shit like that. They're going to look at you and they're going to say, you know what? I want to go out with you because I think you're a dope individual. So let me make this happen. And the only way that's going to happen is if you stop fucking up when these women give you an opportunity. I was disgusted about the whole Cheesecake Factory chick too, only because the cheesecake in the Cheesecake Factory is fucking delicious. So I was looking like the fuck is her problem? Not to mention, I was confused because I'm looking at her like, sweetie, why did you not know where you were going before you went out? You know why? Because you were probably so busy just texting, blah, blah, blah. He WYD'd you to death. And then finally said, okay, let's go out here. It was all done via text, so you barely had any conversation. Because had you had conversations with that man, he would have known that you're not into going somewhere like Cheesecake Factory. You have a right to your preference. But my thing is, it all starts with conversation. If you're one of those ladies like Dana, who she was on here before, said she's not really into the small talk. There's a lot of women that are like that. I know Dana's very busy too. A lot of the busier females are not into a lot of small talk. But you have to make time. Just like you ladies always talk about, oh, if you like somebody, And this is where the ladies come in. If you say, oh, you like somebody, you got to make time for them, that goes both ways. That means you have to make time for them too. Meaning you got to take the time to talk to them, because you will save yourself a lot of headache if you take that time out to talk to these individuals. You might not even, you might realize you don't even need to go out on a date with them. I'm good. You know how many times I've saved myself time just having a conversation with somebody? I've been on dating apps. I'll sit up there and talk to a girl, and we'll be talking. We'll have a conversation. In that conversation, we might be like, you're a dope person. I'll say that to them. They'll say it to me too, but I don't think we're a good fit for each other. And we'll bid each other adieu, wish each other the best, and keep on pushing. We just saved ourselves a whole date to figure that out. You know how that happened? Because we got on the phone and had a conversation. We got on the phone. I know this is a glass case, but we got on the phone because you have to get on the goddamn phone. You have to talk. You don't need to have 1,000 conversations, but you do need to have some. Because you can skip a lot of the bullshit that happens on these first dates by having some conversation. And Trudy, this guy sounds like something I hear a lot of women going through. She said after all of that bullshit and failing and everything else he did, he tried to get a kiss at the end of the date. I don't know. First of all, I mean, yeah, the asking for a kiss thing is corny. But listen, I'm not even going to knock the asking for a kiss. I'm not going to judge somebody on their techniques. I mean, I kind of do that for a living, but still. I'm going to let that one go. My point is, bro, what did you even do? Like, in this date that you had, Trudy, since you're talking about this, did y'all do anything other than dinner? Or was the whole date just the dinner? Because I'm very curious about that. Because that's crazy to me that he just asked for a kiss at the end of this date. And it sounds like this date was literally, we meet up, we go to dinner, he don't even pay for his own Uber back and forth to the restaurant. And then after all of that, he is trying to get a little action. So y'all went to dinner and watched Steve. Oh, Jesus Christ on my soul. All right, so okay. So basically, this guy, this whole date should have been like, you got to come with a plan, fellas. Like, dinner is just eating food. I'm going to tell you a little secret, too. The ladies may or may not agree with me on this, but I've seen it work and be true. And I didn't even do it on purpose because I was prepared to go wherever, but I've just seen it happen so many times. It's got to be true. If you make up a dope activity to do, more than likely your dinner choice is not going to be all that immaculate. I'm going to give y'all an easy one too. Thai food. Thai restaurants tend to have really nice ambiances. They make good drinks. And they're not very expensive typically. And you can have some nice food. They have a nice flexible menu, whether you're vegan or not. And like I said, it's inexpensive. And it's something that won't be too heavy on you so you can actually do something interesting. When you're planning your outings, try to look for areas that have a concentration of things in one area. Because my thing is, I said Thai food, Trudy, like a Thai restaurant. Most of them are pretty inexpensive. They're not that expensive. But my thing is that you have to understand you can't just take somebody to a standalone restaurant and then not have anything else planned. Then you sit and you watch TV. You probably try to make a couple of moves to get you some. Because Trudy's a very shapely girl, or shapely woman, I should say. She's not a girl. She's a woman. She's a very shapely woman, so I'm sure he was trying to get all up on them curves. And my whole thing is that the funnest way to do that, and I'm gonna just give you this, I'm gonna give you $1 million worth of game for free 99, fellas. Do things that allow y'all to interact. Do things that will make your physical contact happen naturally. Like you're playing a game, you're doing something fun. You just randomly end up in an embrace where a kiss happens naturally. People have lost the ability to organically fall in love because everything is so precise and mechanical and all this stuff. And yes, I'm kind of contradicting myself at this moment because I'm saying to plan a thing that could lead to a thing. But no, all I'm saying is to put yourself in a position to facilitate a better outcome. Because you have to think this shit through, guys. Like the things you guys is doing out here, all I'm saying to myself is, God damn, I'm a fucking rock star. Because I know how to put some shit together if I want to. You know, sometimes I keep it simple if all we say is, yo, we just want to meet up, break some bread, do a meal, da da da. Okay, cool. That's what we're going to do. But if there's going to be an activity, I'll be like, yo, like me, I love soca. I'll be like, yo, we're going to go get some food, pack up our belly. And then after that, we're going to go hit this spot. We're going to dance the night away, have some drinks. You know, me, I'll probably be like, yo, boom. I like to drink tequila. I'll give up the dark liquor for now. I'll be like, yo, let's get a bottle of Patron. And we'll be good for the night. We got tickets on the party. And here's the... Guys, you can buy the tickets and use fucking ZipPay. So this way you can pay that shit in increments. Let's say the tickets cost like $100 to go to the Fed for 2 people. You don't even have to pay all that right now. You can just pay $25. Pay that in advance. Have that ready. This is why planning helps, especially if you're balling on a budget. These are ways, and the reason why I'm suggesting you buy a bottle instead of buying drinks, because think about the math on this. That bottle is going to cost you about $150 to $180 with tip $200. If you're buying drinks, especially in a place like New York City, I'm going by New York City prices. So for those of y'all not in New York City, I know y'all prices cheap. I hate y'all, but I love y'all too. You're going to spend more than that buying drinks while dancing in a club. But if you have a whole bottle, y'all might not even finish that bottle. Especially if you're driving. You're not going to finish that bottle. You're going to take a few drinks out of the bottle. She's going to have most of the drinks out of that bottle. You're going to get a little loose, get a little whatever. It's going to be cute. And then at the end of the day, then after that, you go home. She had a great time. She danced the night away. She might even feel a little comfortable enough to be like, yo, let me take a shower by your house and we can cuddle the night away. You just got in there. Ladies and gentlemen, you in there. And you didn't even go crazy. You did 2 stops. And you could have did them both in the same place. Let's say the Fete is over here. Find a nice restaurant in that area. Go to that restaurant. Eat some food. Don't pack your belly because you know you about to party. Now you slide over to the spot. You get your drink on. You got food in your belly, so now you can drink nicely and have a good time. Why is this hard? I don't understand this. And that's the thing. Look at this. There's no romance. He cannot touch me after that. One other thing happened too. Okay, we'll talk about that offline. But my whole thing is that You folks have to do better. Fellas, we talk about we want to be leaders. See, me, I have high demands because I am that motherfucking guy. I can say that with arrogance because I will make a nice plan and go to a thing and have a thing set up. Me, I like to party, I like to dance. So more than likely, I'm gonna try to set something up like that if I'm going out, or at least find a lounge that I know has some dancing not possibilities, whatever, because I'm a tactile person. I like to be able to touch. I like to be able to feel that energy. You can't feel that energy and you sitting across at the table staring. A dinner is not supposed to be an event. Dinner is supposed to be the eating of a meal, a little bit of conversation, a little icebreakers and warm ups. You have some jokes, key. Then you slide to the spot and you do the activity you do. You ice break with the food, let them eat. Unless you're already full, then you do that inverted. You can invert the food. If you already are both full, eat later. But either way, eating is a simple devouring of food to please your belly. You take them somewhere decent because this lady more than likely spent God knows how much money on her hair, how much money on her fucking nails. And I know for a fact how much that costs, and it's fucking expensive. I won't even dare to cry about my $45 haircuts. And yes, I do get haircuts because I can't line up my beard that good myself. So I'll shave my head, but when I need to line up, it's still got to go. Anyway, I won't even cry about that because I think a washing set might be the only thing a woman could get for about $45, $50. Meanwhile, they got to do their nails, they got the makeup, they do all the shit, put a nice outfit on, da-da-da-da-da. Listen, if they doing all that for us, the least we can do, you come there smelling good, you come there with a fucking plan. It's one thing if she pushes you to go out with her, then she should have a plan in mind. But if you are begging this girl to go out with you, or not even begging, you're just asking her out, you should have in your mind, okay, let's do this. You should have an idea of what it is she likes because y'all should have already had a conversation or two on the phone prior to even going out anywhere. Like me, if I ask for somebody's number and I say, hey, maybe we could link up, go out sometime, trust and believe there's going to be a couple of conversations before we go anywhere. Period. That's something that needs to happen. Y'all need to learn, and this is where I say women, you got to have conversations with these men, even if you're, I don't like the small talk, listen. And you don't like bad dates either. If you don't like bad dates and you take a little time out to just have some conversation, you'll either realize this ain't a person you really want to go out with, or two, have a great conversation, great chemistry. This way, when you go out, all you got to do is be there. He'll already know what to do. He'll have a plan set up because now in his head, he's like, okay, she likes this. Okay, she likes that. If you know the girl is really into axe throwing or something, you could set that up because now you know because you had a conversation. So this is where I say it's on both sides. But ultimately, I'm blaming the men. I will say some of the initial things that happen in this dating shit, I kind of look at and I say, women, y'all need to do better with choosing who you give your attention to. Because a lot of y'all filters are not set to what you really want. Your filters are set to one thing, but your choices are set to another as far as what you really need or what you really want. Because your filters is all fucked up. You're filtering out the wrong guy. You want the busy, successful guy. But that means you're going to have to make a little bit of an effort and actually talk to him and actually reach out. Don't get gassed because you got 100 guys in your inbox. Because only 2 out of that 100 is actually going to take you out on a decent date and show you a good time. The other 98 just trying to drop off dick. If you just want to fuck, then that's cool. But if you want somebody to take you seriously, you got to move in a way that promotes serious behavior. That's why I said it's on both sides. A lot of times people think, I've had people say, oh, because they see all the posts I put up, oh, you don't like women? Like, what's your problem? I said, ain't nobody hurt me. Getting a date is real easy for me in most cases. It's just about what I like and what I want because I filter people out. That's why it takes me a minute to get this or to get that. It's just because some woman is saying, hey, I want to go out with you. I'm not saying, okay, well, let's go out. You know, I got to feel them out. I got to talk to them. I got to see what the vibes is. I got to be attracted to them. I filter, but I communicate in a timely manner so that my filtering happens in real time. It's ridiculous to me when on a regular basis, somebody takes a day and a half to 2 days to respond. Anybody that thinks that I take people like that seriously is in for a rude awakening. I don't. It's no disrespect to you or to anybody who's like that. I get it. Everybody's communication levels is different. It's just business people, people that are busy, people that are ambitious, people that got things to do. These are the rules and the methods as to which how they operate. So if you want them to operate in a different capacity, if you want a different level of success, you have to be willing to take the next steps. I'm sorry for y'all who have been out on these terrible dates. Lord knows I've heard a lot of crazy stories in my life. I've heard a lot of crazy stories in my consultations. And ladies, I know it is so dangerous for y'all out here because you don't really know this guy. You're in a vulnerable place. You're taking a chance just going out. We appreciate the fact that y'all do that. And I just want to say thank you for those of y'all for making that effort because that you never know what you're getting. Like this guy could fucking bulldoze you and assault you and might not be much you can do. A lot of y'all sticking yourselves out there, taking a chance. But what I want to say is, and I'm going to wrap this up on this, you have to get to know these people before you go outside with them. Especially if you want to let them in your crib to clap some cheeks, even on a play date situation, it's like, have a conversation or two first. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it all text message and emojis and shit. Talk to these people. See how they act. A lot of people will tell you a lot about, listen, I've taken psych classes. I know what I'm talking about. I am excellent at profiling somebody. If you don't believe me, there's people that's watching this right now that could tell you I've told them 1,000 things about themselves just from having one conversation with them, and I did not know them before then. And it's not because I'm fucking Professor Xavier. I'm not reading minds. It is simply you learn a lot about a person by simply listening to them and having a conversation with them. We have to reopen the normalization of communication because if you're going to go out there and risk your life every time you step out that door to go with somebody, you should at least understand who the fuck they are or at least who their representative is or whatever. You need to know who these people are before you go outside with them, before you let them in your house. Some of y'all got them coming over to fuck you, and you got babies in your crib. What if this motherfucker crazy? You don't know. You gotta protect yourselves. I'm here saying this because I want to protect y'all. I'm not saying this because I want to make fun of y'all or put nobody down. I don't want to see another victim. I don't want to see or hear of somebody that I care about, which a lot of people that watch this are people I give a shit about. I don't want to hear about y'all getting assaulted because you did not take the time to find out who this person was. Then you got to go through all the counseling and healing that comes with that. And as if you survived the fucking encounter. And fellas, same thing. There's a lot of ladies out here that ain't right in the head too. You want to talk a little bit. I understand that titties is nice and that ass is clapping and you want to jump on that shit, but talk to each other first before you make any move. You will find yourself in a much better position. You will see that you'll have much more quality dates, much more quality activities if you take the time to do this simple thing. I appreciate y'all for watching today. Um, Anybody like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that make sure, ladies, that you share this with these guys. And they need to hear this because you see, I talked a lot about the men today. I started off with that stupid list, but at the end of the day, we men, we're supposed to run shit, then we gotta fucking act like it. But ladies, that doesn't mean you don't have any accountability in this too. Y'all do. I love y'all. I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to be great. I want y'all to have amazing romantic experiences. Make me not have a job. This is one job I don't care to keep because I can make money doing a lot of other shit. Me being a relationship consultant, helping singles find love, helping couples maintain or heal their love. I love doing it because I love seeing people happy. I want y'all to win. That's why I'm on here. That's why I make all those crazy posts. I know y'all see me put these posts up. There's a method to my madness. I'm doing this because I want y'all to win. I can't marry every woman on Facebook, so it's not all for me. I want y'all to win. I want y'all to have that love that makes you feel butterflies. I want y'all to have that experience like where it's so deep that you don't even imagine what you could have did without that person. I want y'all to have that in whatever capacity that may be, lifestyle, vanilla, whatever, gay, straight, whatever. I don't discriminate. I want you to find whatever love it is, and you deserve to be loved. If you feel you deserve to be loved, then understand that you must take those steps necessary to make that happen. That's all I ask. I'm not asking you for any money. I'm not asking you for anything else. All I want from you guys and gals is to learn to actually love each other because this social media shit has ruined it. And it's not unfixable. We just need to get all of the background noise out. Like, I can't even close this shit out because I have so much passion about this. Like, this is what I do. I've been doing this shit for almost 11 years now. People that you have sat next to at one time or another have likely been on the phone with me fixing their relationship or helping them to get one. I'm not some guy out here just looking to make a buck. Yes, I do charge for my time because time is money. But it is so worth it. It is so worth it. If you'll pay Bumble $40 for a fucking subscription just to hope to swipe left and right, then paying to actually help to get that healing shouldn't be a big deal. But again, like I said, I'm hoping y'all don't have to come to me. I'm hoping that y'all don't have to come to anybody, that y'all are able to figure this shit out on your own. If you need help, I'm here. And that's cool. But I want y'all to put me out of business and people like me out of business. But it starts with getting to know one another. Let's bring some romance back into this shit. Just because your lifestyle doesn't mean you don't deserve romance. Doesn't mean you don't deserve somebody to wine and dine you. Even if you want to have a play date, go out first. Get to know the person a little bit. You got to protect yourselves. Guys, protect yourselves too. Protect your safety. Protect your time and your resources. Don't just go jumping up in this girl. See what she's about first. If you want to go to a party, have your random fun, that's cool. Now you're in a neutral space where you could do that with minimal risk to either one of y'all. But when you're deciding to have personal time, when you bring somebody into your personal space, before you bring this person into your personal space where it's just going to be you and them by yourselves, talk, not text, talk. Enough of this texting shit. I guarantee you, y'all start doing that, you're going to see better results. Anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all because I'm way over time right now. Have a good one. Like, share, and subscribe. Be safe. Pay attention to the page. A lot more stuff coming. I definitely am happy to have more of y'all on here. If you want to come on here, chime in your 2 cents like Dana did today, just holler at me and we'll make it happen. Anyway, peace.